Hello everyone, this is Paul Maxey. Welcome to this Email Alchemy Quick Profit Clinic with Daniel Levis. We're going to get going right away, but before we do, if you would please type something into the chat box just to let us know you can hear our voices and see Daniel's slides. And as we go along here, feel free to type any questions you may have in the chat box. I'll be monitoring the chat and fielding any questions with Daniel at the end of today's training. So anytime you're ready, Daniel.
Cool. All right. Well, first of all, a big thank you to Mr. Jay Abraham for introducing us. Jay and I are new fast friends. I have admired and profited from the man's work for many years, and I hope you have too. To say I'm honored to have had the opportunity to write emails for Jay and to immerse myself in his unique voice and style and way of thinking, and also to make your acquaintance through him. To say I'm honored is probably the understatement of the century. And as I see it, also an obligation to provide you with not only the most cutting-edge training here today, but also to stay and to patiently answer any and all questions you may have at the end of today's session so that you, like Jay, can capitalize on what I believe to be the world's most powerful email marketing strategy. So I don't see any chats coming in, but let's see, probably because I'm not looking at the chats. Do we have chats, Paul?
No, I don't see any chats coming in either. Not seeing anything.
Well, that's not very good. There have to be chats.
Don't think yeah.
Is there any way to verify that there are people on? Yes.
Yes, there's one, there's two, there we go. Now they're starting to roll in.
All right, cool. So guys, I'm going to show you how to take any sized email list and turn it into a steady stream of predictable and repeatable profits that will help you to help more people and finance the lifestyle that you want and that you deserve. How to get started if you have no email list yet, and you can see that I've used the word fellowship on the slide there instead of the word list. And I do that because the word list is very cold. It has connotations that imply that simply being in possession of a list of email addresses somehow translates to wealth. And from what you'll see here today, nothing could be farther from the truth. But when you have a fellowship with your list, you will never be at the mercy of the search engines or AdWords or Facebook when it comes to getting visitors to your websites, because you will have your own traffic on command that responds at the push of an autoresponder button. And I want you to know that this applies to you, regardless of whether you've never used email marketing before, regardless of what you sell, regardless of what is considered normal in your field. If you run a retail establishment or a professional practice of some kind, you can do this and you can fill up your restaurant or your shop or your office with foot traffic and appointments. If you sell high-ticket stuff, face-to-face or over the telephone, you can use this to book sales interviews that are far more likely to close. If you sell face-to-faces, you can fill a seminar room with pre-sold potential buyers. If you're an info marketer or an affiliate marketer, you can use this to run rings around everybody else in your niche. If your customers and clients use email, there's literally no business on earth where what you're going to be learning here today cannot be applied to dramatically improve your results. What I'm going to teach you about email messaging and structure is going to eliminate email writer's block when it comes to crafting an email to send out to your list or to somebody else's list for that matter, because having somebody of influence mail your message to their list, perhaps in exchange for a percentage of your sales, is the fastest way there is to building a fellowship and a following. And you'll be able to crank those emails out fast, even if you think you suck at writing. You're going to learn how to connect more deeply with people in the inbox, giving you more authority in your market and enabling you to establish and extend your brand and create a real fellowship of loyal, switched-on subscribers who love to buy from you, who love to share your message and enthusiastically recommend you to their friends and their families and their associates. You're going to discover a turnkey system, a systematic process for dramatically increasing your sales and profits with email marketing, regardless of how time or knowledge starved you might feel about leveraging this key and critical component of your business. Now, I'm also going to be giving away some free gifts and flash prizes to the folks who take the best notes. So pay very close attention, because at some point as we go along here, I am going to stop. I'm going to ask you a question, and the first person to type the correct answer into the chat box wins a copy of this book. It's called 42 Proven Ways to Explode Your Online Sales. It's a real book shipped to your home or office. Not only that, but everybody who stays to the end of the training gets a zip file crammed with tools of the email marketing trade, more subject lines, opening lines, metaphor, similes, transitions, and more. So who's up for that? Type something into the chat box, please. Tell me you're awake. Tell me you're ready to soak up forbidden knowledge. Now, I should also warn you that there's no replay, so make plans to sit tight for, at the very least, an hour, if not the full 2-hour duration of today's session. And I know I just made some pretty big promises, so let me tell you briefly why I'm up here making them. They call me the email alchemist, and that's just kind of a weird way of saying that I know how to turn small email lists into big profits, and big lists into humongous profits, and people pay me to do this. I'm an email alchemist for hire, in other words, and not an inexpensive one. And frankly, some of the things that I'm going to be talking about here are probably going to sound really strange to you, like they're coming right out of left field. And they should be coming out of left field, because the fact is, my last client paid me $65,000 to write an autoresponder series. You know those automated messages that go out to people when they sign up at your website? And here's the thing about that. Why on earth would somebody pay me or you or anybody else who's mastered what you're going to be learning here today about email $65,000 to write an autoresponder series? Did I fool this guy, this idiot? Did I use some sort of mental jujitsu on him? Why would he give me that kind of money to write emails when you know there are plenty of email marketing template packages out there for creating emails, and plenty of other copywriters who write emails for hundreds of dollars instead of thousands, let alone 65,000? Well, I'm going to show you why right now. One of the reasons I'm here is because of these three numbers. Numbers on the left, that's the average dollars per subscriber my clients enjoy when I help them out with their email marketing, when I alchemize their list. And what does that mean? Well, for every person on their list, assuming they're selling a great product, I only work with people who sell amazing, life-changing products, but assuming they have that, in just a couple of weeks' time, these folks are bringing in between $3 and $16 per subscriber, sometimes much more, depending on what kind of price point we're talking about. And the number on the right, that's the number that you may have heard before from various email marketing experts that says for every person on your list, you should be able to generate $1 per month. And you'll notice something weird about the numbers on the left. Despite being a short 2-week window, worst case, it's actually triple the number on the right. So let's talk about ways that we can make the email marketing that you either want to do or that you're already doing equal the numbers on the left. Wouldn't that be amazing? How would your life change if you were able to articulate your value proposition so much better through email than you do now, that you could trade $3, $5, $10 EPN and more every couple of weeks in fair exchange for the value you give? What would you do differently? Perhaps spend a little less time worrying about cash flow in your business, a little more time enjoying life? And some of you are going, well, hell yeah, that would be incredible. That'd be awesome. And I know others are thinking, well, I don't even have an email list, so I don't know. I don't have this fellowship thing that you're talking about. And we're going to cover that later in the training, this whole list building conundrum, but I will let you in on a little secret right now. Building a list is the easy part. Building it profitably, building it into a long-term asset, and building it fast is a whole other ballgame. And all of that hinges on monetization. If you have monetization, your list grows almost effortlessly and automatically. Do you think it would help you to draw more JV partners your way to build your list if you had this power? Do you think you might be able to advertise more profitably to build your list and your business if you had this capability? This has the power to transform a struggling, barely profitable business into a fun, freeing, financially fulfilling one. You know, when I started marketing online 12 some odd years ago, list monetization was easy as falling off a log. Now that's no longer the case, but email is still the cheapest, easiest, fastest way to build strong and repeatable cash flows into a business today, bar none. Yes, it takes work, it takes effort, it takes some study and some perseverance like anything else, but I will show you a shortcut, a way you can get these kind of transformational results almost immediately, and at a tiny fraction of my customary $50,000 to $100,000 fee for doing it for you. So yes, there is something for sale on this webinar, but don't feel obligated or anything. It's entirely optional. Don't feel any pressure to apply for it. This webinar is not a thinly disguised sales pitch. I am here to give you the red meat. So let's get started. Social media is a phenomenon, but did you know that there are more than 3 times as many email accounts as there are Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn accounts combined? And did you know that according to a recent study of more than 500 million shopping experiences by e-commerce quarterly, that somebody who agrees to receive emails from you is 4.5 times more likely to buy from you than somebody who follows you on social media? Another study showed that not only are people 4.5 times more likely to buy from you through an email relationship versus a social media one, they're also about 14 times more likely to see your marketing message. So an email subscriber is actually worth about 63 times more than a social media follower. So your primary goal must be to get those followers onto your email list. If you'll do just that one thing, if you'll just focus more of your attention on the building, feeding, and care of your email list, your business will improve, perhaps by an order of magnitude. And by the way, this applies equally to brick and mortar operations. Are you doing a good job of acquiring email addresses from your prospects and customers? Because if not, you are literally tripping over millions of dollars, squandering a vast fortune, provided you know what to do with those addresses once you get them, which is what we're talking about primarily here. And the very first thing that we need to do is dispel 5 commonly held myths about email marketing that everybody thinks are true but are actually false. Fallacies that you probably believe. In fact, I need a commitment from everybody listening here that when you see yourself making these errors, you're not going to take it out on yourself. Who here thinks that email open rates and click-through rates are important? Type yes or no into the chat box, please. And when I say important, I mean should you or should you not be concerned about open rates and click-through rates every time you send an email out to your list? Yes, 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 and yes. Virtually unanimous in the chat box, I can see. That's good. You guys are a good group. You guys are a good group. I can work with you. Because you've got some bad habits. Now, they're going to be easy to fix, and once you fix them, you're going to make a whole lot more money with email. Who's up for making a lot more money by fixing a few bad habits? Okay. First myth. Open rate is a key performance indicator. Remember, pay very close attention here because I'm going to be giving away that prize without warning. I just laugh when I see people worrying about open rates. I feel like saying, why are you wasting your time even looking at this? When was the last time you took an open rate percentage to the bank and you tried to cash it? And you might be thinking, but Daniel, if more people open my emails, won't I get more clicks? And won't more clicks get me more sales? And the only reason this is sometimes true is because you don't know what the hell you're doing when it comes to writing an email. Here's a stat sheet from a recent email alchemy campaign. Open rate never got higher than 10.3%, dipped as low as 6.6%, yet we averaged $3 per name in just 10 days, not $3 per click. which many people would consider thrilling. $3 per name, just from email. Want a 40% open rate? Email your list once a month and rarely ask them to invest in anything. How many people do you think you're helping that way? If they're not meeting you halfway by making a monetary commitment. The truth is, the guy who skillfully persuades, guy or gal, skillfully persuades, I'm going to define skillfully persuades as we go along here, skillfully persuades in virtually every email that they send out is going to help far more people and be in a far stronger position financially to help even more people than the guy who tries to protect his open rate. Now, don't get me wrong. Obviously, we want to get our emails open. That's why we agonize over subject lines. But never at the cost of keeping our open rates high. That is simply not the point. And here's why fixation on open rates is so dangerous. It discourages adequate mailing and adequate persuasion. Yes, you can burn out a list with hollow selling and incessantly blatant pitching, but that is not skillful persuasion. It's not. And no, you don't want people on your list who never open your emails, but that's an entirely different discussion. Entirely different thing than looking at your open rate from email to email. Don't do that. Stop. Second myth. Click-through rate is a KPI. You know, the other thing that freaks list owners out is when their click-through rates plummet. Again, when was the last time your bank accepted click-through percentages at the teller wicket? What matters is why people are clicking on your links. Are they casually curious? Or are they ready to do something that moves them closer to some sort of positive transformation? Big difference. And what most marketers do, common flawed wisdom, is to rush to the click in the email, or they try to trick the person into clicking the link, or they rely too much on curiosity. Your goal should be to get people to click on the link with a strong, specific intent to do something that moves them closer to a purchase, to opt in or to buy, or at the very least engage deeply with what's on that landing page. And when you do this effectively, guess what? You naturally get low click-through rates. Here's another set of data from a campaign with a webinar sandwiched in the middle. The first block up at the top here, this is the invite series. And the block at the bottom is the follow-up series. 9 invite emails. Is that a lot of invite emails? Yeah, it most certainly is. Most marketers will send you what? 3 emails about a webinar, right? Well, guess what? 9 emails doubles the signups. Doubles it. But look at the click-through to open data. It's falling from 16.4% all the way down to 5%. Most marketers would take that as a sign to stop mailing. I don't care about dismal click-through rates. Doesn't bother me at all. I mail them 5 times on the day of the webinar. But here's the trick. Here's the trick. I write these emails in a way that makes them interesting and entertaining and informative so that people actually enjoy reading them. And you don't need to be a great writer to do this. I'll show you why in a little bit. Even the people who already signed up for the webinar, they enjoy reading these emails. You know what that does? Not only do I double my sign-up rates by laughing in the face of falling click-through rates, I get a much higher show-up rate too. And again, in the follow-up emails after the webinar, we have this precipitous drop-off in click-through rate. Oh my God! Oh no! But look at the sales. Running inverse to the trend in click-through rate, up to $111 per click, over $79,000 from under 15,000 names in less than 2 weeks. That's over $5 per name. Now, don't take this out of context, please. I'm not saying that a lower open rate or a lower click-through rate is your goal. That's not. The goal is to change as many people's lives for the better as possible. And here's how we keep score. EPN, earnings per name. Open rate, click-through rate, immaterial. Not key performance indicators, yet most people manage by them. And then you wonder why you're not having more success. When you manage your day-to-day mailings by open rate and by click-through rate, it makes you do silly things. You'll write your emails the wrong way. Your subject lines will be all wrong. You won't mail enough. $3 to $16 per name? Not going to happen for you if you persist in these bad habits. Email marketing myth number 3, short copy is best. Short copy gets the click. So what? Again, when was the last time you cashed a click at your bank? If you look at these emails, and these are real emails taken from a campaign that I created for John Benson, brought in $16 per name for his 3 accelerator launch, you'll see these emails are long and that the links are nowhere near the beginning of the email. Because we don't consider the number of clicks a KPI, we don't send short emails that rely on blind curiosity to generate a click. We pre-sell thoroughly before asking them to click. The goal being to engage the person in a meaningful mental dialogue about the problem or opportunity that they're facing and do it right here in the email so that when we ask them to click, they're far more committed to taking some action that furthers the sale for you on the landing page. And this is diametrically opposed to the so-called best practice of managing for clicks and therefore using short, blind emails that focus on getting the click at all costs, like this one here from Digital Marketer, for example. Notice it's all about getting the clicks. Very short, it's very blind, lots of open loops, links right up at the top. And the result is you do get a lot of clicks, but they don't convert nearly as well. You might be thinking, okay, that's fine, lower click-through rate, higher conversion rate, 6 of one, half a dozen the other, but not so fast. When you consider a second key factor, which is frequency. How many of these blind emails do you think you can send without A, pissing off your list, and B, seeing your once stellar click-through rate crater through the floor? Precious few, right? But look how many of these email alchemy style emails John Benson sent to the same landing page here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 emails, all of them driving traffic to the same webinar sign-up page. 26 emails in just 16 days to just 3 different landing pages. And the reason we can get away with this is because of something called secondary reward. You see, email is not just being used as a notification service here. We're offering the reader a reward for reading the email. What a concept. Inspiration, wisdom, entertainment, encouragement, surprise, suspense, intrigue. People actually enjoy getting these emails because they bring value in and of themselves while at the same time selling. So you can send 3 to 4 times as many emails to each landing page. And while we get fewer clicks, we might get fewer clicks from each email, we get much higher conversion from each click. And in the long run, in aggregate, we get more clicks because we're sending so many more emails. And more clicks overall and higher conversion from each click means what? More sales, more opt-ins, more of the good things that get people to buy into you and your business. And you don't have to take my word for any of this. John Benson was lucky enough to have Ryan Deiss as an affiliate and Digital Marketer. Ryan Deiss is the CEO of Digital Marketer. They promoted this very offer. They sent emails that looked very much like this one, sent a ton of clicks, and made a ton of sales, which is wonderful. Great. Revenue per click was $17.50, which is also amazing. Obviously, they're doing a lot of things right. But you know what? It was less than half of the $38 per click that John got with his email alchemy emails. And here's a quote from him proving it. I can tell you from doing so many JVs and so many launches, this was far and away the most lucrative email campaign I have ever seen. Nothing comes close. So how would you like to make double the earnings per click of your biggest competitor or double the earnings per click of the most successful affiliates in your niche? Wouldn't that be amazing? How would your life change if you were able to pull $3, $5, $10 per subscriber reliably every couple of weeks, or doubling, tripling, quadrupling your lead flow and your close ratios if you're selling face-to-face? How much more capacity to do good in the world could you amass? Myth number 4. So-called internet marketing experts will tell you optimal email frequency is like, once or twice a week. Why do they say this? Because you'll wear out your welcome. Because email is just one of multiple different channels. You should be tweeting and Facebooking and Pinteresting and YouTubing and podcasting and blogging and periscoping and all the rest of it. because you might piss people off. You might get a lot of unsubscribes. Well, we've already seen how if you can find a way to send more emails and better emails, your earnings per click are going to go through the ever-loving roof. Look at what happened here to John Benson's campaign if we had followed this common wisdom. Typical marketer would have mailed you like, what, half dozen times? Maybe enrolled a quarter as many customers and then given up, gone home. 26 emails within a 16-day period. Did John wear out his welcome by mailing this much? He did not. Take a look at this. Hardly any opt-outs at all. Even when we're mailing them like 3-4 times in one day, which we did several times. And look, hardly any complaints either. And in case you're wondering, the complaint threshold, according to a company called AWeber, is 0.1%. The absolute highest we hit here was less than half of that. And do not make the fatal mistake of dismissing any of this data as being relevant only to internet marketing. Don't think this doesn't apply to traditional niches. I've done this in all kinds of different niches and never once violated these limits. And every time I do, we double, triple, quadruple sales every single time. So write this down. More and better emails equals more traffic and higher conversion and a better life. Now, myth number 5, content marketing is a workable business model. According to Eloqua, content marketing is essentially business relevant communications minus the selling. The folks over at the Content Marketing Institute explain that instead of pitching your products or services, you're delivering information that makes your buyers more intelligent. The essence of this content strategy is the belief that if we, as businesses, deliver consistent, ongoing, valuable information to buyers, they ultimately reward us with their business and loyalty. And at one level, this could not be more true, right? If you treat your list like a big fat wallet, you may make money for a little while, and then it'll be gone. List dead. And today's pet theory, content marketing theory, just the opposite. All you have to do is work away in a corner somewhere like a little elf, blogging your buns off, podcasting like mad, making YouTube videos, tweeting and Facebooking, and people will buy from you. Equally flawed model. And if you're doing this content marketing thing the way these guys tell you, all you're doing is turning yourself into a content soup kitchen and training people to not buy. The most productive road is to blur the line between content and pitch, offering usable, valuable information to the consumer while simultaneously persuading, mixing the two together seamlessly and elegantly, which is precisely what email alchemy does. Selling in a way that is enlightening, entertaining, and inspiring, all at the same time. There need not be this artificial distinction between content and selling. Throw it away. So there are the 5 myths. And if you think I'm crazy, remember this slide. And let's give away the first prize here, shall we? We've been talking a lot about an email marketing metric called EPN. That is an abbreviation for what? Go. First person who types the full name of the metric into the chat gets a copy of the book shipped to your home or office. Paul will confirm the winner in the chat. We'll do another one of these a little later, maybe 2 more. So, now that I have cured you of your bad email marketing habits, it's time to develop some good ones, productive habits that will transform your online marketing and have you earning far more from every subscriber. Because if you're still here after that, that means that you get it. You understand that it's a huge waste using email as a simple notification service, and that it's by far the best place for generating goodwill and fellowship with people. And therefore, you ought to be getting ready to send far better emails and far more of them, and devoting far more attention to growing your fellowship. But now you're thinking, great, I get it, Daniel, this is wonderful, but I'm just not a very good writer. It would take me years and years and years to learn to write in a way that is enlightening and and entertaining and inspiring, and that sells all at the same time. And you would be right. And that's why I've templated the whole process, turned it into a virtual assembly line of profits for you through the power of something called sales universals. Sales universals. And sales universals allow you to do two things. Number one, they've allowed me to templatize the creation process, annihilating the 10,000-hour rule for you, meaning that you don't have to spend 10 years mastering the skill. And number two, they dramatically speed up the creation of these emails even when you have mastery. So what are sales universals? I'm going to give you a crash course right now, and then I'm going to give you 3 case studies. Sales universals apply regardless of what you're selling. And here, there are really 2 types of sales universals. There are structural universals and there are material universals. Think of structural sales universals in much the same way that you would think of the recurring themes that are used by screenwriters to create blockbuster movies, or by novelists to create best-selling fiction. If you watch a lot of movies or you read a lot of fiction, you'll notice that a lot of it is quite similar. The characters and the situations and the subject matter may differ, but the structure and the underlying message is the same. How many movies have you watched that fit the description Triumph of the Underdog, or Man versus Nature, Man versus Himself, Man versus the System, Love Conquers All, Chase, Revenge, Escape, Rescue, Journey, Betrayal? It's probably a couple of dozen or so major themes in popular culture, and that's it. The writer's job is not to reinvent the wheel, but to bring a fresh perspective or angle to the kinds of stories that are fundamental to our human experience, that help us to see things and ourselves in a new way, and that remind us of the underlying life lessons and wisdoms that we've seen 1,000 times before. And all of these structural universals, these themes that I've listed here, can be applied in email to sell just about anything under the sun. Take Triumph of the Underdog. Don't you feel like an underdog when it comes to online marketing, generating traffic, getting sales, turning a profit? Of course you do. And it's the same for the people that you're trying to help. All of them feel disadvantaged in some way, and all of them will bite down hard on this Triumph of the Underdog theme and story if you use it, if you use these things in your marketing. Remember this young lady here, Susan Boyle, the homely-looking Scottish spinster, schlepped out onto the stage, said she wanted to be the next Elaine Page, amid snickers and scoffs from the studio audience. She was the classic underdog, right? Until she opened her mouth. And almost overnight, her performance received over 100 million views on YouTube. Talk about traffic. Talk about interest. And no matter what it is you're selling, this narrative applies. If you're selling weight loss, maybe it's bad genetics. Money-making info, maybe it's a lack of education or time or capital. If it's relationship advice, maybe you had braces as a kid, and as a result, you're shy, you're lacking in confidence. Real estate, maybe you're an outsider, you're looking in. You're lucky you're even seeing this property. All the filthy rich people are away in the Hamptons, where they have snapped up this property in a New York minute. It's always there. Or how about revenge? Absolutely universal sales appeal. Jilted, humiliated by her lover, Kim Kardashian busts out of her funk by exacting revenge. She sculpts an even more beautiful body. Sculpts, rather. Sculpts an even more beautiful body. As if to say, you hurt me. You hurt me, but look at me now, sucker. What an idiot you are. What an idiot you are for losing me. And again, this is just human nature. We all have this natural, perhaps we might call it a twisted desire, but it's very natural. We want to rub the nose of anybody who diminishes us or belittles us in our success. And you can sell revenge bodies, revenge houses, revenge businesses, revenge wardrobes, revenge skills, revenge tax returns. Virtually any product or service lends itself to this highly profitable drama, or any other drama on this list. Each one of these a rich gold mine of attention, giving you all kinds of different ways to come at the sale in email after email after email. Then we have material universals. Material, not in the sense that they're concrete objects necessarily, but that they will change from product to product or service to service. Pain, aversion, or avoidance, for example, it's always there. Does not matter what it is you're selling. People are fearful of something, whether it's feeling lonely and unloved because they feel unattractive, or the embarrassment of losing their home or their car if they go broke, or the humiliation of showing up at a social event in last year's clothes. Similarly, all of us want to feel good, whether it's rubbing your brother-in-law's nose in the fact that you can send your kids to the finest colleges or universities and he cannot, feeling good about yourself for having accomplished something worthwhile, or perhaps the leisure, the comfort, the luxury afforded you by that new beachfront property that you've got your eye on. There's always pain to move away from and pleasure to move toward, and your product or your service is the vehicle of transformation. Always. The only difference is what kind of pain and what kind of pleasure is involved. And there are always sacrifices, right? Things that a person must give up if they're going to undergo a desired transformation, or that they fear giving up. The money they're going to have to give you, the time it takes to implement, the sugary comfort foods that they must forego if you're selling weight loss, perhaps a codependent relationship if you're into relationship advice. A clean chin costs a beard. And always in the back of your prospect's mind are objections and reasons why what you're selling won't work for them or may result in some undesirable consequence. And these are things that you must bring out into the open and address in your persuasion. And there are always proofs, right? Why should they believe you? What are your credentials? What's your track record? Who else is buying this thing? How are you different? How are you better than competing alternatives? And there are always subjects, right? As in actors, objects acted upon, actions, and other things that are universal, always there. So, case study number 1. Here's a little demonstration of how these sales universals play out in an email. Now, I'm going to read you a little bit of this email, and let's see if you cannot spot a few of these sales universals. And I'm purposely showing you a few weird, off-the-beaten-path sorts of products and services here, because the thing that you are selling is secondary to the structure. Subject line: too dumb to succeed. Hey, first name, in case you ever had any doubts, don't worry, you're smart enough already. In fact, in all my years of woodworking, there's just one guy I thought was too dumb to succeed. And I've had the privilege of coaching hundreds of budding craftsmen over the last 34 years. So who was that one knucklehead? I met the enemy, and it was me, back when I was suffering through one embarrassing woodworking fiasco after another. Toys that looked like a twisted train wreck. Benches that looked like they'd been hit by a bomb. Bird feeders that crows wouldn't go near, even when they were chock full of choice corn. I was spending a fortune on blueprints and plans, studying them for hours, following every step to a T. But somehow my finished projects never looked anything like the pretty pictures in those DIY magazines. So the obvious answer? It had to be me. That's the insidious belief that creeps into our mind when we just can't figure out what's wrong. And I wondered, damn, why don't these pieces I've cut fit together? Shit, why is there so much waste around here? Crap, why are these joints so sloppy? Phooey, why isn't this square? That's when anger and frustration can turn inward. And we start believing we're as dumb as a bag of hammers. What's this, dumb as a bag of hammers? Something Jay talks about quite a bit. This is what we call a simile. Why didn't I just say we start believing we're just not that smart? Because that's dull, right? But dumb as a bag of hammers gives a reader a little smile, right? A little bolt of pleasure just from reading the email. In fact, if you look at every line of this email, literally every word, every phrase is carefully chosen to create color and personality and curiosity. It's fun to read, pleasurable. You're offering the reader a secondary reward that allows you to send so many more emails than your competitors. Thank goodness I solved my woodworking dilemma before that happened. See, it wasn't me that was the problem. It was the plans I was following. That's right, 99% of the plans you find in those DIY magazines are completely useless to the woodworking novice, like trying to find your way around Kansas with a map of Nebraska. Hard to follow, critical steps missing, many of the measurements just plain wrong. I learned this the hard way over and over. Now, do you see how this is a material universal? Everyone who sells anything is selling against competing alternatives, right? Darn near threw in the towel. Would have, in fact, had it not been for a local craftsman who took me under his wing and gave me some solid instruction. Okay, so this is an email that has been fleshed out from one of the over 80 templates that you find inside the Email Alchemy Elite 2.0 members area, to which I will invite you to apply for membership in just a few minutes. There is the template right there. Anybody willing to hazard a guess as to which one of these structural sales universals I used to create that particular template? Is it triumph of the underdog? Man versus the system? Is it love conquers all? Chase, revenge? Type something in the chat box if you recognize the theme. Which one of these best describes the email we just looked at? Well, it's got several of these elements in it, doesn't it? It's got certainly got triumph of the underdog, certainly got man against the system. Rob, you're absolutely correct. Daniel says man versus himself. It's got more than one. Now, the really cool thing is you don't have to be an expert in structural universals to use them right away, because they're baked into these templates. Isn't that a relief? Now, what about material universals? You see these numbered blanks here? These are material universals. Structural universals like triumph of the underdog or man against the system, they apply to virtually any product or service. The material universals are universal in that they can always be inserted into the structure, but they change depending on what you happen to be selling. So let's say I want to use this very same template here. I want to sell something entirely different, say a coaching program of some kind. Anybody here sell coaching? Can I use this subject line? Too dumb to succeed. Sure. Why not? And this template is actually a part of a 7-part series, hence this urgency line up at the top here. So, hey, first name, in case you ever had any doubts, don't worry, you're smart enough already. In fact, in all my years of blank number 12, and I'll explain why these blanks are numbered and labeled in a moment, blank number 12 is your niche. So I'll just overwrite your niche with coaching. In all my years of coaching, there's just one guy I thought was too dumb to succeed. Now, you see how I'm using open loops in the subject line. Too dumb to succeed, question mark. Too dumb to succeed at what? Better open the email to find out. And one guy, who's the guy? Deliberately dropping these curiosities, drawing the reader into the email. And I have had the privilege of coaching hundreds of budding blank number 24s, and this blank is simply, who are you selling to? Clients? Woodworkers? Lawyers? Investors? Whoever it is. Over the last how many years? Hundreds of clients over the last 8 years. And what is the sentence? Track record, right? Proof, material universal. So who was that one knucklehead? I met the enemy, and it was me, back when I was suffering through one embarrassing blank number 12 again, which is your niche. And you know, when I popped the word coaching in here, it just felt a little bit dull to me, you know. So I ended up taking all of these pain points down here, these blank number 2s from the next paragraph, and I worked them in here. So it became, I met the enemy, and it was me, back when I was suffering from near terminal overwhelm, spread too thinitis, guru adoration, and afflicted with shiny new object syndrome. I was spending a fortune on blank number 17, the functional thing or things that you're selling, studying them for hours, following every step to a T. And you're going to change things around a little bit here and there, right? I changed this to that was before I made the jump to light speed in my consulting, coaching, and copywriting business. This is just another way of saying the same thing. What's the end result you're giving to the prospect? But somehow my blank number 2, which is again an undesirable reality to move away from, that's pain avoidance, right? Material universal. And I just changed this to read. I was already working my butt off, studying, testing, beating the bushes for clients, and I was still barely scraping by. Just another way of expressing it, right? But it's essentially the same thing. I'm expressing an undesirable reality to move away from. So the obvious answer, it had to be me. That's the insidious belief that creeps into our mind when we just can't figure out what's wrong. And I wondered, now, who thinks this is a lot easier and faster than trying to write these emails from scratch? Type something into the chat box if you think so. Type something into the chat box if you can see yourself or somebody on your staff filling in these blanks and dramatically improving the quality and the quantity of your email marketing, helping more people and making more sales and profits. Awesome. Love the participation. Thanks, guys. Now, what could you achieve if you had dozens of these to pull from? I'm giving you the entire email alchemy formula here in every one of these templates. Proven subject line structure with that built-in pattern interrupt, curiosity, relevant benefit, opening those first few incredibly important yet difficult to write words necessary to hook the reader and draw them into some serious reading. The deepening segment, typically a story or rich visual image to engage the reader's active imagination, making them open to suggestion. This is where we innocently implant sales advancing suggestions and buying conclusions. The pitch segment, right? This is where we bring the embedded suggestion out into the open. We present it directly to the conscious mind. We relate it to the product or service or action we're selling. And the call to action, loaded with presupposition. And when you follow these simple steps, you can dramatically improve your conversions on the landing page. And how much time would having a complete library of these templates covering every single aspect of your marketing save you? How many more leads could you be generating? How many more sales could you be making? And making them without the need for a lot of ultra expensive videos and product launches and a lot of other investment beyond the click. Yes, those things are great. They're wonderful, but you know, a series of emails like this is so powerful. You can make these numbers with a simple order page. All of your email marketing needs handled, taken care of. Type something in the chat box if you feel that would help you. Cool. So how about we switch gears for a minute, okay? I'm going to give you a chance to apply for space on my Email Alchemy campaign creation shop floor, and then we'll circle back around and I'll give you the remaining 2 content-rich case studies, including the one about list building that I promised you. So here is what is available to you if you and your business qualify. First up is the Email Alchemy Elite Core Arsenal. It's 12 different types of campaigns covering the complete subscriber lifecycle, fully templated for you, exactly as you see in these case studies, and with complete training for adapting them for your business at speed. First, we have the starter pack of templates. It's a 3-part series for generating sales inquiries for service businesses. If you sell a service of any kind, these templates are plug and play for getting a powerful lead-generating sales series, lead-generating series locked and loaded incredibly quickly. There's also a 7-part campaign that's out of the box in there for selling information products, home study courses, membership sites, continuity programs, live seminars and masterminds, you name it. Then there is what we call the Recon series, and this is a series of emails for intelligence gathering about your list so that you can really understand what people are, what are their values? What's the sweet spot of desire that you will then put in your emails? Next up is the recruitment series, designed to advertise a lead generation magnet, a bait piece that gets people onto your list. Use these for multi-part video-based sales funnels or product launches, for webinar signups, for text-based reports and audio content, or anywhere else that you need rapid recruitment of eager potential buyers. You give these emails to a JV partner to send out to their list in order to drive traffic to a landing page that puts qualified prospects on your list. Or you send these emails to your own list in order to segment contacts as interested in a particular offer. Then there's the inbox infiltration series, templated emails designed to befriend those new prospects, to warm them up, to get you whitelisted in the inbox and get fresh new leads ready for a cash-generating promotion or product launch or lead drive for your sales force. Then there's the anticipation series. These are linked email templates designed to foreshadow a campaign, to get people thinking about a given problem or opportunity, teasing them about the value that you're going to be bringing them in the days ahead. Next up is the liaison series. These are templated broadcast messages engineered to get people to reply to your emails, creating a dialogue around the topic of your promotion or campaign, creating goodwill and engagement, involvement, and response. Then there's the propagation series templates, linked emails that you can send out to prospects who have requested a lead generation magnet. And these emails drive rabid consumption and discussion and sharing of that material to educate and pre-sell your subscribers. Then there's the Enforcer series, and this one contains email templates for maximizing attendance at webinars or Google Hangouts or live stream events. You guys just got some of these Enforcer emails either today or yesterday or the day before from me, helping you to come to the webinar here. There's also the Ultimatum series. You're going to have templates for deploying a zero collateral damage approach to creating scarcity and urgency, emails with deadlines and takeaways to destroy purchase inertia, but written in a way that actually increases goodwill and fellowship and long-term subscriber value. You're also getting a special stick series, retention series, templated emails that neutralize buyer remorse and consumption resistance so that you can slash refund rates and solidify trial orders, and your customers will get the maximum benefit from your products or services. Then there's the social influence series, templated emails that get buyers to give you amazing results-based testimonials. And last but certainly not least, we have the resurrection series, templated emails for reviving dead contacts or purging them from your list before they can drag down your sender reputation and your deliverability. Terms that you'll learn about in the membership area. 12-stage life cycle email marketing, done for you. Just fill in the blanks on these templates, hit send, and if you're promoting a good offer with a decent landing page, you get this. Every one of these templates, every one of these series of templates is a handcrafted jewel of ethical influence, incorporating revolutionary email alchemy secondary reward technology. They're every bit as good as a world-class persuasion. My private clients pay me $2,500 per email to write, and you can use them to sell anything, any product or service offered or recommended by your own business. Now, what you are not allowed to do is resell them or adapt them for use by a third party. So if you happen to be a copywriter or a marketing consultant, you may not use these for client work. If you do that, your client will get a nasty cease and desist letter, and they will not be happy with you at all. Now, I do encourage copywriters and marketing consultants to join Email Alchemy Elite as a training exercise, and you can certainly use these templates to promote your own copywriting or your marketing consulting products or services, but these are not for client work. Now, the good news is I do have several higher-end programs that do give you that third-party license, and you can certainly upgrade to those, and your entire Elite 2.0 investment is rebated against your upgrade. So, how much for all this? Well, realize I charge $2,500 to write a custom email, and there are now over 80 in the arsenal. You do the math on that. And it comes to $200,000. And if that sounds like a lot of money to you, take a look at this. Email Alchemy dug far deeper into my list and quadrupled my sales. In just 2 weeks, we pulled $300,000 in immediate sales for 3Accelerator, plus another $100,000 plus in payment plan sales, all from an email list of fewer than 25,000 names. John sent just 26 Email Alchemy emails to make those numbers. At $2,500 a piece, that was a $65,000 investment. Yet he brought in over $400,000. That's a 615% ROI in just 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks worth of emails, 26 emails. Here, in the members area, you're getting over 80 emails, and you can use them for life. So $200,000, cheap. Of course, you may not have 25,000 folks on your email list. You may not have a list at all. And despite putting Email Alchemy to work being the fastest way of getting one, I am a big believer in under-promising and over-delivering. So let's assign a very, very modest $15,000 value to this arsenal. Because heck, even a hack copywriter would charge you more than that to write all these emails, and they would be crap in comparison. There are over 80 emails in here now. Imagine the time savings. Over 55,000 words of spellbinding copy, yours to use, royalty-free, assuming you're approved as an elite member. Second thing you're getting here, I'm going to give you my complete Email Alchemy Track 1 training for creating these killer campaigns entirely from scratch if you want to. All of my targeted skill strengthening, deliberate practice to make your emails sizzle and get your customers to devour them. All of my processes and procedures revealed. This sells every day on my website for $997. I just want to tell you very quickly about a few folks who have been through this particular training and who put the strategies to work in their businesses. This is Ron Reich. Ron is in the relationship niche, routinely kills it in affiliate contests against guys with lists that are 10 times the size. John Angel brought in $30,000 on a $1 trial offer to a list that had not bought a single thing in over 4 years. James Fry, complete newbie, built his list from no subscribers into the thousands, earned $4.45 per name in less than 2 weeks, his first time out. Charlie Hutton here reports tens of thousands of dollars worth of copy written and pulling sales in less than 7 days. This is an interesting one. This guy runs a coupon club in El Salvador, translates the templates into Spanish, gets great results, calls it a game changer. This is John Bowes, in-house copywriter for John Assaraf, reports doing a split test, Email Alchemy versus regular email. Regular email, 38 sales. Email Alchemy, 330. And this works for products, services, lead generation, software, affiliate marketing, driving people to a brick-and-mortar store, getting the phone to ring, referrals, B2B, B2C, industrial sales, doesn't matter. We got every type of business you can imagine in the members area. Supplements, jewelry making, life coaching, acting school, martial arts academy, marriage counseling, acupuncturist, management consultants, stock trading, insurance, you name it. So together that's a $15,997 plus value. You're also getting my $1,297 campaign conversion multiplier sessions. What this does is it covers the complete click-to-sale conversion lifecycle. It's a whole membership site all on its own, on top of everything available to you with Email Alchemy Elite, all of the tools that you need to plan, strategize, execute, and extend fellowship-style marketing into every other type of media so that you can get the most from every precious click that you generate with your Email Alchemy campaigns. Now, what if you do not have a list? What if you're just starting out? Or maybe you've hit a wall and you've stopped growing. I'm going to include my 4 pillars of list building field manuals. I'm going to show you how to build highly effective lead catching systems, how to create high converting, self-liquidating offers. You're going to have a roadmap for generating traffic. You're going to have my insider secrets for building that long-term subscriber value and loyalty that we've been talking about. And what about some hand-holding and personalized advice for putting all this together? What if I were to jump into your corner as your personal strategist and advisor to help you implement Email Alchemy into your business? What if you could email me with any email marketing question or concern, campaign strategy, positioning, USP, story crafting, help adapting the templates to your business, list building, product creation, lead generation, and appointment getting, affiliate marketing, anything that you need to get going. And within 8 to 16 business hours, I was right back at you personally working you through it. And together we blow every last roadblock out of the water so that you finally begin gaining the traction and the preeminence in your marketplace that leads to abundant cash flow and financial control in your business and time freedom in your life. And this is 100% private and confidential, strictly between you and me. It's not a forum or anything where your competitors get to eavesdrop on what you're doing. Totally and utterly private. I normally charge $1,497 a month for this. I'm ready to make myself available to you for 6 months. Yes, you heard that right. 6 full months, half of a year. So it's a very conservative $8,982 value. And obviously there's a limit on how many people that I can support in this way, hence the strictly limited nature of this offer, and also the requirement to carefully screen anybody interested in getting involved. So we have a few days at best here before I'm going to be forced to curtail enrollment and shut this offer down. So if you act fast and you apply and you are accepted, you get the done-for-you fill-in-the-blank template arsenal. You're getting the full email Alchemy do-it-yourself training. You're getting the campaign conversion multiplier, the 4 pillars of list building, and 6 full months of personalized private email support from yours truly for help with anything and everything email marketing. And you can even defer those 6 months. The only stipulation is that you use them in one chunk, in one 6-month sprint together. It's literally like bringing me on staff for 2 full quarters to whip your marketing into shape. Total value of over $26,472. Plus, I do a coaching call, a webinar actually, every month for my elite members where I will train you or your staff further on template adaptation and list building and traffic generation, autoresponder systems, any and all hot topics that come up. I bring folks up on the hot seat, I critique, and I consult with you live in front of the group. Again, only so many of those I can do, so it's by application only. Please be aware I can only hold this offer open for a very short time, and it's first come, first served. I'll also plug you into a private members-only Facebook mastermind so that you can share your experience and celebrate your victories. You can network with other avid and successful practitioners between the monthly sessions. You'll be part of an exclusive community who are actually using and profiting from Email Alchemy and the template arsenal. There are all kinds of these Facebook groups popping up for $97 a month for membership. So in a year's time, that's an additional $1,164 value. And now let me tell you about the absolute biggest and the most valuable and beneficial part of this one-of-a-kind program. Every month, I write new custom templates for members, 4 per month. Maybe you need more emails to get people to a live seminar that's coming up, or emails to solicit testimonials, or emails to get people to buy right off the page, or to get people into your store, or to generate sales appointments, or to win an affiliate contest in a big launch that's coming up, whatever it might be. And I will write a new template, blanks filled in for you. And all of our members are then free to use that template as well. And of course, you're free to do the same when it's another member's turn to get me to actually write an email for them without having to pay the customary $2,500 fee. So this arsenal is continually growing and continually evolving around your needs. So you can actually get 1, 2, 3, maybe a half dozen emails or more, maybe even a whole campaign over time, completely written for you by me. And your arsenal grows and grows each and every month as I am doing this. You'll use it for years, and it literally doubles in value in just the first year. And again, this is by application only. It's first come, first served. So the sooner you get on board, the sooner you'll be profiting from your custom written emails. And obviously the demand far outstrips the supply, so be quick to apply. You're getting the done for you fill in the blank template arsenal, both the core arsenal that's in there now and the evolving infinite arsenal that grows around your needs each and every month. That adds an additional $10,000 value to your membership over the next year alone. You're getting the full Email Alchemy training, the campaign conversion multiplier, the 4 pillars of list building. Of course, the 6 months private one-on-one personalized private email support, the monthly coaching calls, and the Facebook mastermind. Total value of over $37,636 in just the first year of membership. And as you've seen, this is actually a gross understatement. Yet lifetime membership in Email Alchemy Elite 2.0 sells for just $12,500. And while I'm still able to accommodate new members for a few days only, and because you're here with us on this very special webinar as a friend of Jay's, I'm going to give you an unprecedented 60% discount, so just $5,000, provided you're approved and you join in time. And that gives you lifetime access to this amazing program. Now, if that's perhaps a little rich for your blood, I've got an annual membership as well. Just $29.97. You get everything that I just listed here, except it's 8 weeks of private email support and coaching instead of 6 months. You can still defer those 8 weeks and use them anytime during the year, as long as it's 8 consecutive weeks. And if your cash flow is a little tight, I will even finance that amount for you. 12 monthly payments of just $297. But here's the catch with the financing. Your 8 weeks of private access to me via email doesn't kick in until 9 of your 12 installments are paid up. And you don't get the campaign conversion multiplier. The core training, the Email Alchemy Do-It-Yourself training, is spread out over 2 months. And the core arsenal is spread out over 3. You still get to request custom templates for your business. You still get the 4 new member templates every month, but the 80-plus templates that are in there now are dripped out to you over 3 months. Otherwise, you get it all. You get it all. A $30,351 plus value for 12 measly monthly payments of just $297. Now, there should be a button appearing in your chat area, and when you click on that button and you go to that page to apply, here's what you will see. This is a summary of everything that I just told you about, and if you scroll down to the bottom of that summary, you will see these 3 membership options: lifetime, yearly, and the financing. They're laid out side by side. Lifetime to the left, and you can see your 6 months of private email coaching highlighted in yellow there. The yearly membership is exactly the same, except it's 8 weeks of private coaching instead of 6 months. And here you see how things roll out with the financing option. Core arsenal, metered out to you over 11 weeks. The Email Alchemy Do-It-Yourself training comes to you over the first 6 weeks, and the 8 weeks of private coaching is available after your 9th monthly payment clears. And right under that summary, you can apply. You put just $1,000 down today to secure your application. You'll be presented with a page where you can answer a few quick questions about your business, and you'll be asked to book a 20-minute call with me or a member of my staff. And if you look like a potentially good fit, we will confirm the 20-minute call. If not, your $1,000 will be immediately refunded. Step number 2, we get on the phone to discuss your application. We get any remaining questions you may have answered, and make a determination as to whether or not we're a good fit. And if both you and your interviewer think you are a good fit, you'll be asked to choose your membership level at that time and authorize the remaining payment. If either you or your interviewer do not feel you will be a good fit, your $1,000 will be refunded. If you go with the financing, you'll be refunded $703, and we'll start billing you $297 every month for 12 consecutive months. All right, so let's answer a few frequently asked questions, and then we'll get back to the training and the remaining case studies that I promised you. Well, wait, wait, I almost forgot. I have a special bonus for you guys. I have a special webinar-only bonus. If you apply before we get off this webinar, assuming you're accepted, I also want to ship you something. I want to ship you this big-ass binder and CD set, University of the Road. This is thick, as you can see. It's like 500 pages, double-sided, broken into 13 different modules, many, many hours of audio. and it's called Quantum Income Leap, the fastest way to six figures and beyond for coaches, consultants, and freelancing pros, aka the neutron bomb of practice marketing. This sells on my website for $1,997, all by its lonesome. And I kind of retired it. Because I wanted to focus on email alchemy. So there's no online access, strictly hard copy. So this bonus is only if you pay in full, and it's only offered if you apply while our webinar is live, and we're here together today. And the reason I'm including the Quantum Income Leap is twofold. Number one, because I know that a lot of you listening to this are quite likely coaches and consultants and freelancers or service businesses of one kind or another. Obviously, you want to do email marketing much, much better, but there are many other secrets to selling professional services. And this course contains everything that I know about positioning yourself as an authority, about charging premium prices and automating your client acquisition processes so that serving clients becomes a lucrative joy instead of a burdensome nightmare, as it can often be. The second reason I want to give you this is because I know that there are also info marketers on this webinar, and I believe that the days of selling information products without some kind of high-touch, high-ticket back end are numbered. And this course offers a tremendous amount of insight into how to begin incorporating that back end into any info marketing business. So you get this shipped to your door, get all this stuff shipped to your door when your application is approved, as long as you apply while we're live here together on this webinar. And as I say, this is a $1,997 course all by itself. You get it for free, shipped to your door. Is that cool or what? So let's get back to the slides. I want to answer a few commonly asked questions. Where are my slides? There they be. All right. So people are always wondering, why this application thing, and what's the criteria anyway? Great questions. First off, let me tell you that this application process is not onerous in any way, shape, or form. It's a quick online survey. As soon as you apply, just a few questions about your suitability. If you pass that hurdle, then we hop on the phone for 20 minutes to get acquainted. And we do this because this is a very hands-on kind of program. We're going to be spending a good deal of time together, up close and personal, emailing each other perhaps daily, getting together at the monthly coaching webinars, and I want to be sure that we're a good fit, that the chemistry is correct, and that the odds of our working together profitably together are assured. I have limited openings for this, and I want people who are coachable. I want people who are open-minded, self-reliant, have great things to sell, and are willing to execute and profit from my advice. It's not just about taking your money. If I'm going to be spending my time with you, I want to be certain we're working on something worthwhile. People are wondering why so cheap. Full disclosure here, this is really kind of an incubation ground for vetting potential revenue and profit sharing opportunities, partnerships, if you will. I do expect that a small percentage of you will have truly breakthrough products, systems, or technologies, immensely valuable intellectual, organizational, or relational capital, or perhaps unusual access to certain individuals or markets that, when combined with my marketing capabilities and expertise, represent inordinate profit opportunities that we can then explore together. I get many such pitches from people whom I do not know, and this is my way of profitably vetting those deals, kind of like a front end for those larger opportunities. Who do you think is going to have my ear and my trust? Someone who is enrolled in a program like this and worked with me personally, or somebody who approaches me off of the street? You want to do a deal with me? You want me to write copy for you? You want me to engineer an entire marketing initiative for you, provide an introduction to somebody, or engage in an even closer relationship, potentially involving an equity stake in your company or vice versa? Well, this is the breeding ground for those types of relationships. So naturally, I want to make it affordable. Do you take PayPal? Yes, we do. In fact, we have a deal with them right now where they will actually bankroll your membership. It's OAC on approved credit. You have to be doing business inside of the United States. But if you meet those criteria, they'll actually bankroll your investment. And it's no interest, it's no payments for 6 months, and we'll show you how to take advantage of that. What if I don't have an email list? Well, you know, if you want to succeed in growing your business these days, you have to get one. And this will help you to get it starting today. If you don't have a list, you have to be asking yourself, why not? What's holding you back? It's typically one of two reasons. One, you don't know how to do it, and you've never tried, in which case you need to take out your credit card and go to that link and apply. And if you get in, when you get in the members area, download the 4 Pillars of List Building, which walks you through the process of setting up a squeeze page and an autoresponder, creating a lead generation magnet and an order page for monetizing your leads and getting traffic to it. Ask questions about it in the Facebook group. Ask me to do a coaching call on it. Email me directly about it. Second reason that you don't have a list is that you've tried and you failed. Maybe you didn't have a good roadmap, like the 4 pillars. And you went out and maybe you bought some traffic, but you couldn't get enough people to sign up. Or maybe you got people to sign up, but you couldn't get enough people to buy or to inquire, in which case you may need to re-engineer your squeeze page or your lead gen magnet or your offer or order page or your email follow-up sequence. And every single one of these membership options gives you everything you could possibly need to fix the gaping hole in your business. 4 pillars takes care of the name getting. The arsenal's there, gives you the follow-up sequences for amped up dollars per name to ensure that your list building efforts and your expenses are self-liquidating. And the massive support package ensures that you have the hand-holding and the oversight to make sure you don't get stuck anywhere along the line, to get your list building machine and your fellowship up and running really quickly. So no list is a great reason to apply right now. People wonder, is there a guarantee for this? What if I'm not happy? Your $1,000 application fee is, of course, fully refundable. If after reviewing your application, we don't think you're a good fit for the program, or after getting on the phone together for 20 minutes answering each other's questions, if either of us does not think we're a good fit for whatever reason, your $1,000 application fee will be immediately refunded. After that, naturally, there are no refunds. Remember, I'm giving you up to 6 months of consulting. Nobody's going to give a refund on consulting. And beyond that, here's the thing about something like this, where I'm actually licensing my intellectual property to you. This is not a course. It's not just a mastermind. It's not just consulting. And once I let people inside, into the arsenal, if I give them a refund, it has been extremely costly for me to police and to prosecute illegal use of the material. Remember, I am licensing you to use my email copy, to send it out to your list, to make sales with it, and to drive business growth. If people are stealing it, it hurts all of us. It hurts all of my members, and I will not let that happen. And you know what? Guarantees are cool and everything, but they actually keep a lot of people from succeeding, which is good from a marketing standpoint. People think, oh, okay, why not? I'll give it a look. And that's all they ever do. And some forget to get a refund. But not so good if you really care about people succeeding, because seriously, how far are you going to get if you don't knuckle down and take the program seriously? If you're thinking this program or any other program is going to magically change your life without you making a strong commitment and taking action beyond just taking out your credit card and getting involved, you know, you're sorely mistaken. This is a killer marketing strategy, but you do have to put a little work into it. And I don't want you coming on board and not having the courage to implement anything, or not attending any of the trainings and then saying, hey, Daniel, this is work. It's thinking, it's planning, it's doing. Give me my money back. An application process is one thing, but knowing that your money is on the line is like a line in the sand that ensures that you actually follow through and that you get results. My guarantee is that you're going to get everything that I promised you here and more. But if you flake out, and you don't do anything with the templates and the training and the community and the support, what's the point? This way my intellectual property remains protected, and I know that you're serious about your own success. And if you're not, then please don't apply, because it can't help you. On the other hand, if you've been watching along here and you understand the beauty of the email alchemy templates, the game plan, and the strategy, and you're ready to make some positive changes in your business and in your life, apply now. Get in there while you can. Get in at the special price. Get in there and see what everybody's raving about. And do it now while you can get the Quantum Income Leap Home Study course for free. Plus, if you procrastinate, you may get locked out entirely because I'll be forced to close this offer down when the demand for that interactive support from qualified applicants exceeds my ability to deliver on it, obviously. This is a good question. What if I don't renew after the first year? Can I still use the templates? Absolutely you can. When you've paid your annual fee, the templates are yours to use, yours to profit from for life. By the same token, if you finance your annual membership and you default on any of the monthly payments, then you lose the legal right to use any of the templates, which is only fair. You are legally responsible for making all 12 payments. Can you go over what I do or I do not get with the annual versus lifetime membership options? Sure. When you look at the order page, you're going to see some red text in the left-hand column here outlining the differences. If you're doing the financing, item number 1, the core arsenal, it's metered out to you over the first 11 weeks of your membership. All 3 membership options get item number 2, the infinite arsenal, customized templates created especially for you. We're adding 4 a month. If you're smart, you will send in a template request very shortly after getting approved and orienting yourself in the members area, because getting a couple of these templates fleshed out for you early on, it's the fastest way to get up and running and profiting from Email Alchemy. Item number 3, the core Email Alchemy training. It's metered out to you over 6 weeks if you choose the financing. Item number 4, the campaign conversion multiplier. It's only for full pay annual and lifetime members. Everybody gets full reign with items 5 and 6, the 4 pillars of list building, the private Facebook group and monthly coaching webinars, and the unlimited private personalized support and consulting from yours truly. It's available to everybody, subject to a few conditions. Lifetime members get a full 6 months. Annual full pay members get 8 weeks per year. And if you go for the financing, you get your private coaching in the 4th quarter after you've made your 9th payment. Now, I should also add or remind you that, yes, you can defer. We do get people asking this. Can we defer our coaching? And yes, you can for any of these plans within the term of your membership, but you cannot break it up into chunks. So, up to $37,636 in real understated value altogether. You get about 70% of that, by the way. 70% of that full value for as little as $297 a month during this promotion. Simply amazing, and even more so when you apply right now, because we're going to ship you the Quantum Income Leap as well on approval, as long as you apply before we're done with the rest of today's training. People often wonder, you know, how good of a writer do I need to be? Well, isn't that kind of the whole point of this? I mean, you don't have to be a good writer at all. I mean, you can totally suck at writing emails, because here with this, with the template arsenal, you just have to fill in the blanks, or maybe your staff fills in the blanks, or heck, why not hire a freelancer to fill in the blanks? You can get them really, really cheap at AWAI or Elance or Odesk or something like that, because all of the hard creative stuff has been done for you. All of the trial and error about what works and what doesn't has been taken care of. All of the heavy lifting handled. You know, if you or your staff are willing to take the filling in of those blanks seriously, watch a few videos, see how it's done, and you got basic high school English, you can start profiting right away while you're learning to write these emails yourself, if you even want to do that. You know, if it were me 12 years ago when I started selling stuff online, man, I would have hit that order button so hard and so fast, that apply button, that, you know, it'd be frightening. It would be frightening. I'd be scared to death I wouldn't get in before we fill up. Last question. How long will this take to get results? Well, you know, I don't know where you're starting from. Do you have a viable product or access to a viable product? Do you have a viable lead capture page? Do you have a list? Do you have a lead generation magnet? Do you even have an autoresponder? You know, Email Alchemy is not a magic money button. You know, you're going to have to put a little work in here. How much or how little depends on where you're at. But I will tell you this. There's no faster, no easier, no more leveraged strategy, skill, or capability available to you anywhere today if you define results by money in your bank account. It's just a matter of where are you starting from. If you're already selling stuff to a list, even if it's somebody else's stuff, you can go through the members area tonight. You can start exploding your income tomorrow. If you don't have any of this stuff that I mentioned here in place, it's obviously going to take you a little longer, and a good deal of it depends on you. Are you the kind of person who can follow instructions? Are you the kind of person who can take action? Or are you a training junkie who just likes to buy stuff and never use it? Are you the kind of person who doesn't get discouraged when you blow it the first time around? And are you coachable in that case and willing to put your ego aside and follow a proven plan? And if so, and if you're selling something worthwhile, then go ahead and apply. Do it right now, and you can get an additional bonus, assuming you're accepted into the program. Get the Quantum Income Leap Home Study course delivered to your door. It's going to be gone when this webinar is over. One more question. What industries and markets will it work for? I'm going to answer this one real quick. At the risk of sounding smug, and I am going to show you right now, I'm going to show you more examples in these next two case studies. I'm going to say that if your prospects use email, it will work for you. Simple as that. And if your field or your industry does not generally use email as a marketing medium, it'll work even better. The only requirement is that the people you're selling to use email, and that's just about everyone, right? So, quick flash prize before we get back to the training. Let's give away another book here before we dive into the second and third case study. Here's the question. You guys ready? Who wants to bankroll your Email Alchemy Elite investment? No payments, no interest for 6 months. Go! First person who types the answer into the chat box gets the book, shipped to your home or office. Paul will handle the award in the chat box. And remember, guys, I'm going to give the big zip file full of Alchemist tools to everybody who stays to the end of the session. So put your study hat back on, please. Put your study hat back on, and let's look at another case study. So, why are the blanks numbered and labeled on your templates? Well, to fill in these blanks, it's sometimes very helpful to brainstorm the material universals that you're going to put in here ahead of time. So for each one of the 12 different types of email alchemy campaigns, there's a corresponding questionnaire. You just fill out this questionnaire about the product or service that you're selling, and each answer is numbered. This is an actual questionnaire that one of our members filled out. She's a social media marketing consultant and service provider. You take your inputs from the questionnaire, and you then just insert them into the subject line, opening, deepening, pitch, call to action sections of the templates. Massage them a little bit so you make sure the tense and the context is correct, and voila, instant email. It's like paint by numbers. Send a bunch of them out to your list, and you get this. So let's have a look. Subject line. Train wrecks of blank number 0, max 3 words that name your product/service category. Social media marketing. Train wrecks of social media marketing. You don't have to think of a metaphor. You don't have to worry about generating a pattern interrupt or curiosity or relevant benefit. It's all done for you. Opening. First name. When you boil it down to the basics, there's one important ingredient to ensure blank number 22, adjectives that describe your product or service. Smooth, hardworking, and super profitable, blank number 0, social media marketing. The only reason we have such a high number of blanks in here is that this is actually part of a multi-part campaign. And if you know your market and your product or service like the back of your hand, you can take these little shortcuts in the blanks here and you can pull together your email on the fly. The questionnaire is really just an added layer of brainstorming all of these material universals. Okay, so there's one important ingredient to ensure smooth, hardworking, and super profitable social media marketing. You see the open loop there? What's the ingredient? All of the templates are designed to pull the reader deeper and deeper into the email, and they're loaded with little persuasion tricks that would take you A hell of a long time to otherwise master. The whole idea here is that these templates, you don't have to be an expert to begin profiting. Just fill in the blanks. It's the same thing you need to prevent a blank number 0 social media train wreck. But it's not the blank number 13 deliverable, tangible feature or benefit that you give to your prospect. What's the first thing you do when you want to sell something? You brainstorm the reason somebody would want it. Well, that's exactly what the questionnaires do. You brainstorm a feature benefits list. What does your prospect get when they hire you? But it's not the stunning fan page, not the super compelling content, not the brilliant branding and advertising. Isn't that a great way of presenting a benefit list? You see how we're building curiosity and anticipation, continually drawing that reader in? You don't have to be a brilliant writer to do this. You just fill in the blanks in the template. Not the stunning fan page, not the super compelling content, not the brilliant branding and advertising, and it's not even the rich levels of engagement and interaction. No. The number one element required for blank number 22, adjectives that describe your product or service. Highly effective and profitable. Blank number 0, social media marketing. You see the suspense building up. And now we're into the deepening segment of the email. Now we're going to deepen the trance. It's mistakes, and plenty of them. You see the pattern interrupt there. What? Mistakes? Where in the heck is he going with this? Mistakes? It's what prevents your social media marketing from going off the rails. Or as Will Rogers said, good judgment comes from experience. And a lot of that comes from bad judgment. See the proof element there? From a higher authority? And I'll just give you a little bit of the finished product here for the sake of expedience. And despite their good intentions, most social media marketing consultants and agencies just can't provide that kind of experience. They hire low-wage third world workers and teach them on the job as best they can in just a couple of weeks. In other words, you know about as much as they do if you've ever read a few social media marketing articles on Mashable and watched a few Gary Vaynerchuk videos on YouTube. On the other hand, a battle-tested social media marketing consultant has been in the trenches, living and breathing social influence and how brands and ideas spread virally on the net. For years, they've been plotting strategy with writers, web designers, product developers, and building word of mouth for some of the biggest brands around, which means they've already seen all of the mistakes and don't need another guinea pig. Now, do you see how this email uses those universal selling concepts, those sales universals that can be applied to just about anything? Look, here's the exact same template used to sell something that on the surface would seem to be about as different to selling social media marketing services as you could possibly imagine. Lawn care. Subject line: train wrecks of lawn care. First name: when you boil it down to the basics, there's one important ingredient to ensure a lush, green, pride of the neighborhood lawn and garden makeover. It's the same thing you need to prevent a lawn care train wreck. But it's not the careful fertilizing, not the thorough aeration, not the exacting, it's not the grub control. No, the number one element for your elegant new lawn and garden makeover is simple. It's mistakes, and plenty of them. It's what prevents your yard beautification project from going off the rails. Or as Will Rogers said, good judgment comes from experience. And a lot of that comes from bad judgment. And despite their good intentions, most lawn care companies just can't provide that kind of experience. They hire low-wage workers and teach them on the job as best they can in just a couple of days. In other words, you know about as much as they do if you've read a few seeding and fertilizing articles in Better Homes and Gardens and followed Jason Cameron through a few episodes of True Green Lawn Care. On the other hand, a battle-tested trees and turf pro has been in the trenches for years, living and breathing lawn beautification and maximizing a home's curb appeal. For years, they've been plotting strategy with homeowners, assembling the very best suppliers of mowers and spreaders and seeding and fertilizers, and the men and women who actually operate the machinery and do the fine detailed work on and around your trees, hedges, and shrubs. So they've already seen all the mistakes and don't need another guinea pig. Now, do you see how I'm using sales universals to shortcut your learning curve and take the blood and sweat and tears out of creating high converting email marketing? Type yes into the chat box. Type yes into the chat box. All right, another case study. Case study number 3, and I'm going to give you I'm going to give you 3 secrets for building a highly responsive email list fast. Now let me tell you about a guy who invested in email alchemy. He wanted to use it to sell kitchen renovations, kitchen reno, of all things. No list or anything, not an information product, just about as brick and mortar as you could get, but loaded with important lessons for all of you, regardless. This is the lead capture page. And the first secret is illustrated by this yellow highlighted line of copy right here at the top. Attention, city tag area, homeowners. And the secret is tight message to market match. We have a tightly defined target market, and on the squeeze page we tell people who belong to the target market, this is for you. The method used in this case was to put geographically targeted ads on Facebook, and he put the city name in the headline. Also, note the masthead at the top, Kitchen Buyers Club. Kitchen Buyers Club, not Kitchen Tire Kickers Club, not Kitchen Designers, not Dream Kitchen Ideas, Kitchen Buyers. Message to market match. Because it does not matter how great your bait piece is or how strong your messaging is. If it's targeted at the wrong people, you're going to be expending effort and spending money shooting at targets that even if you hit them, it doesn't matter. Your list building efforts are going to be doomed to failure before you begin. And you're not going to get this. Tighten your targeting. Second secret, if you put up a landing page to build your list and you want a great response, you need an irresistible offer, something that people would normally expect to pay for. It's not about, hey, sign up to my list or sign up to our awesome newsletter. Nobody wants another newsletter. Forget it. You're wasting your time trying to use bait that people wouldn't pay for. Kitchen Buyers Club of America, priority membership invitation. Enjoy these exclusive member benefits worth $954 when you join free today. Free Kitchen Buyers Guide, $500 savings certificate, free 90-minute in-showroom design consultation, free in-home measurement service. You know, it's just massive, massive value addressing the specific areas of concern that your carefully selected target is thinking about. You know, if you can't sell it, don't try to give it away. And this is true regardless of whether you're selling your own product or as an affiliate. Successful affiliates add value. Email alchemy emails add value. Third secret, strike while the iron is hot. Biggest mistake I see people making using bait pieces is that these lead generation magnets fail to carry the sale forward. A lead generation magnet is, and everything that goes around it, it must be engineered like a Trojan horse. It looks like a gift, and it is, but it's also a carefully crafted sales message so that you can liquidate your traffic costs as soon as humanly possible. It's the first act in a cohesive sales narrative that recoups your time and your money and your effort in driving traffic to your lead capture page. If you can make $2 for every $1 you spend on traffic, and you can do it in just a few days' time, how many of those dollars would you spend to grow your list? As many as you could. And the more you spend, the faster you grow and the more people you help. So what does a cohesive sales narrative that recoups your time and your money and your effort in driving traffic to a lead capture page look like? Well, when they put their name and their email address in here, next page says, welcome to the club. Please take these important steps to take advantage of your $954 in member benefits. Step number 1, click the image to the right to download your free copy of the Kitchen Buyers Guide. Step number 2, read the Kitchen Buyers Club news, aka the email alchemy emails that he's going to send them. Step number 3, Register your Kitchen Buyers Club member benefits worth $954. See easy instructions inside the Buyer's Guide and in the Kitchen Buyers Club news. Now, you see how this is not just bait, not just about getting them on a list. It's a seamless handoff in the persuasion process that leads to the next step in the conversion ladder. All of these lead generation magnet components on this page, these bait pieces, are sales pieces. The buyer's guide. It's not just a buyer's guide. It's also a carefully crafted sales piece designed to build rapport and trust, to magnify desire, to educate the consumer. And yes, to scare them a little bit about all the horrible things that can and do go wrong. And most importantly of all, to advance the prospect to the next step of the funnel, to get them to go into the dealership and register their member benefits, aka talk to a salesperson in this particular case. And I don't care what it is you're selling, it's more or less the same drill. And you know, there's an art to crafting these lead generation magnets. There are actually 7 key steps. And I give them all to you in the 4 pillars of list building. I give you actual wordings and templates that you can just lift royalty free, and you can get it right the first time, instead of having to write all of this stuff from scratch and mess it all up. That is exactly what Alan did. He just grabbed the template and he did the smart thing. Then there's the email alchemy follow-ups. The Kitchen Buyers Club news is not just random emails and content you're sending these people. It's carefully choreographed selling that lets you liquidate your costs and build your list fast. And Alan here, he just went and he grabbed some of the templates that you will find in this Email Alchemy Elite 2.0 core arsenal, and he adapted them. And here's the first set of emails that he sends them. It's a propagation series designed to get people to actually consume the lead generation magnets. Tricky remodeling problem. Why you shouldn't revamp your kitchen. Train wrecks of kitchen remodeling. I think we saw that one already, didn't we? Protection racket for kitchen remodeling. Sleazy crooks and kitchen remodeling. Deadline, fads gone bad in kitchen remodeling. And I'm just going to crack this first one open here real quick to show you. Although I'm grateful you joined our Kitchen Buyers Club with the $500 savings certificate, free design consultation, and free in-home measurement service, I forgot to warn you about a major remodeling glitch that's built into our comprehensive program. Is that an open loop or what? What the heck? Where's he going? And I'm not talking about the usual problems that come standard from the big box home stores who supposedly save you money. They'll burr you in measurement errors, subcontractor battles, surprise wait times, and add-on fees. I'm not talking about off-center windows, unsightly gaps between cabinets and stove where food falls down, or custom requirements that are too complex for run-of-the-mill carpenters who claim to be kitchen experts. No, I'm talking about something we can't help you with. So that's the opening, right? Massive open loop to drive curiosity mixed with fear of a reno gone horribly wrong, something to move away from, right? And now the deepening, right? A compelling story or vision. In this case, it's something to move toward. I am talking about the fact that we'll make it impossible to keep guests out of your new custom-designed kitchen. Yes, you'll beg them to stay in the dining room, engaged in sparkling conversation with your other guests, but they just won't stay put. They'll be as helpless as iron filings drawn to a magnet. Your stunning new cabinets will lure them in. They'll insist on caressing every gleaming countertop. They'll be underfoot and in your way as you're trying to serve dessert. Opening drawers, memorizing the layout and color schemes, peering into cubby holes, and trying to figure out how you masterminded this work of art. They'll pepper you with annoying questions about your museum-quality lighting and the exquisite color combinations you'd only expect from a high-end interior decorator. You'll even see a few forced smiles as they tell you how happy they are for you when they're secretly green with envy and resentful about the frustrations in their own kitchen. But you can easily avoid all this aggravation and jealousy. Don't make an appointment with a certified Kitchen Buyers Club kitchen dealer to register the $500 savings certificate that's part of your Kitchen Buyers Club membership. Ignore the free personalized design consultation that goes with it and the in-home measurement too, because anyone at the big box store with only 3 or 4 weeks experience using an outdated computer program will be happy to assist you with one of the most intricate, detailed, and important investments of your life. And now the pitch to respond. On the other hand, if you're not afraid to stand out from the crowd, if you appreciate the value of in-depth experience in a truly personalized, custom-designed command center for your home, if you don't mind expressing your creativity through beauty, elegance, and efficiency, and the call to action, then don't miss the 30-day deadline. Pretty convincing email, huh, for a guy who walks around all day carrying a hammer. And there is the email alchemy template that he used to create it. It's the exact one, same one that you'll find in the members area. It's the ultimate shortcut to this. Now, if this can work for building a list to sell kitchen reno, it can build a list for you. And when you apply right now, and assuming you're approved, not only do you get up to 6 months of private one-on-one coaching, I'll be your profit pen pal for the next 6 months with a lifetime membership. Not only do you get access to $25,000 worth of templates, just like this one, not to mention all of the training and the member benefits, you also get the webinar-only bonus. You also get the Quantum Income Leap, the encyclopedia of professional service marketing. And if you haven't yet, for heaven's sake, get your application in right now while you got the chance to turn over a wondrous new leaf in your business. And again, it does not matter what you're selling. These templates are universally adaptable. Remember our social media consultant? Remember that gal? Look how she adapted this template. Look. Tricky marketing problem. Why you shouldn't use social media. First name. Although I'm grateful you downloaded our free 7 social media marketing secrets to double your business this year report with the free 60-minute social media marketing sanity check consultation and 5 free Kick Our Tires custom-designed Facebook newsfeed posts certificate. I forgot to warn you about a social media glitch that's built into our comprehensive program. And I'm not talking about the usual problems that come standard from the typical run-of-the-mill social media consultant or agency that talks a good game but leaves you with no hard dollar return on your investment. They'll bury you in expenses for useless, maybe even fake fans, friends, and likes, stick you with hidden fees, maybe even ruin your brand with low-value, thoroughly unresearched posts written in broken English. I'm not talking about spam complaints, getting kicked off the major social media networks, or being blacklisted by Google. No, I'm talking about something we can't help you with. I'm talking about the fact that we'll make it impossible to keep your best customers from enthusiastically spreading positive word of mouth about you. You see that? You see how it's essentially the same email. Kitchen remodeling, social media consulting, insert your business here. So you can see how flexible those templates really are. They're practically universal. Type yes into the question box, the chat box there if you can see it. Type your enthusiasm for higher sales and profits into the chat box, please. Let's get fired up. As you can see, these are not crappy emails that anybody could have written. This is some of the most off-the-charts persuasion, world-class copy. It's making me and it's making my clients a fortune. Why not you? This kind of email marketing is what you need to succeed online, to create a financial cushion for yourself and your family and your business, and to move your mission forward. And what if I'm right? What if I am right? What if you really can change your life with email alchemy? What if you really can put the marketing pieces together in a new way that unearths substantial unrealized profits from your existing email list, or that allows you to monetize traffic and leads so much more effectively that it positively explodes your list building efforts? What if I'm right about that and you ignore my ridiculously affordable offer and you decide not to apply? What's likely to happen? You're going to continue to do what you're doing now. You're going to continue to get what you're getting now, and 6 months from now, you're going to be in exactly the same place you are now. And somehow, I doubt it's the place you want to be. And be still here listening to this webinar, right? And what if I'm wrong? What if you do decide to apply here right now, and you get an interview over the next day or two, and it doesn't pan out? Maybe you discover the email alchemy lead is just too intense, right? Maybe it's too much for you to learn. It's too much encouragement. It's too much masterminding, too much community, too much email obsession, whatever. And we decide, you're not ready for this. What have you lost? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing, except the nagging uncertainty in the days, weeks, and months to come that you should have applied, that you should have undertaken a deeper analysis and thoroughly explored your suitability for the email marketing system that is moving the revenue needle forward for so many of my members and making them financially free and professionally fulfilled. There's simply no reason in the world to live with that kind of regret, because if you come this far, it can only mean that you're seriously intrigued by the possibilities. So why not take the next step? Why not give us a little information about who you are and what you're doing? We'll hop on the phone, and together we can make a thoroughly informed decision as to whether we're a good fit for one another. And if you do it right now, you can lock in the webinar-only Quantum Income Leap home study course if you're accepted. Okay, so I want to do some wide open Q&A, Paul, if we can. I hope you guys have some questions and free to answer them, free to do any kind of discussion and brainstorming about any issues or problems you have, as long as it has to do with email marketing.
Yep, I'm here, and I've actually got a few questions that have been sent privately in the chat. So let me jump to Tom. Tom asks, can I really make money with this, or is it just another diversion that's going to leave me broker than before?
Wow, that's quite a question. How do I answer a question like that? If you do the work, there's absolutely no excuse for not making a big pile of money with email alchemy, and I'll make the proviso that you're selling a good product. No amount of persuasion wizardry is going to make up for a bad product, but assuming you have a good product and you're willing to put in the work, there's no question that you're going to really make money with this. And that may or may not be your prime motivation. Certainly not my prime motivation. What turns me on is seeing you guys succeed, seeing you getting what you want out of life with my help. And money is certainly a means to that end. It helps me to help more people, and it'll certainly help you to help more people and gain a greater level of independence in the process, for more security and stability for you and your family, for better leverage of your time and your resources, so that you can earn more while working less, so that you can make a bigger contribution, so that you can pursue your true calling, whatever it happens to be. All of us have our own motivations. But remember, things don't change unless you change things. Where do you want to be a year from now? 5 years from now? 10 years from now? How will you get there if you don't do something different? Something that breaks convention, something with proven money-making power, if that's your goal. How many years do you have left to mess around? The average life expectancy is what, around 74 years of age? Back your age out of that. If you're now 54 like me, you got just 20 years left. And then ask yourself, how much of that time do I want to spend worrying about money? How much of that time do I want to spend involved in work that I don't enjoy, and perhaps even with people that I don't really relate to? How much of that time do I want to spend wishing I wasn't chained to this desk all the time, fearful that if I take my eye off the ball for even a minute, my income will falter and fall apart? Email alchemy is the game changer you're looking for. Imagine having a wealth generating system in place that gives you the freedom to tailor your lifestyle without compromise, to spend the rest of your years enjoying your family, traveling, doing all of the things that you've been depriving yourself of for so many years. Well, that's really what I'm offering you. Don't look back a year from now no further ahead than you are now. Don't look back a year from now thinking, why in the heck was I so cautious? Why didn't I at least apply? I mean, you'll be kicking yourself later for coming back and trying to get in at full price.
Okay, so Mary has a somewhat related question to that, and she asks pretty directly, why is it so expensive?
Why is it so expensive? I thought it was cheap. If you're hesitating about spending money, I get it. It's money's a relative concept, right? Now I drop $5,000. I don't even think about it. But there was a time when $3,000 or even $297 a month, for heaven's sakes, was an awful lot of money to me. And there was a time when I was so deep in debt, in fact, that I couldn't get a job that paid enough to carry it. I was literally drowning, working harder and harder, scrimping and saving every last penny, and still sinking deeper and deeper into debt each month. Until one day I was sitting there at my computer feeling sorry for myself, and I got this email from this guy named Matt Fury. I don't know if you know who he is or he isn't, immaterial to the story. And in this email, Matt Fury told me a story about his past, and it sounded very much like my present. And the moral of the story was that you cannot save your way out of a financial jam. You have to go on the offensive. And that is why I went into business for myself in November of 2004. And despite being up to my hairy eyebrows in high-interest debt, I quit my job, cold turkey, took even more loans from Aunt Visa and Uncle MasterCard, and that's when everything began to change for me. I burned my boat so that there was no turning back, invested in the best tools and the best training I could find, and now I laugh at spending $3,000 on a valuable resource when I see it. It's pocket change, especially when you consider the return on that investment. So if you are stuck between a rock and a financially hard place right now, that's the absolute best possible reason to get involved with us here, so that you're never financially embarrassed again. Click on that link and put a stake in the sand. Do it now and make that commitment. Get your application in. Get it in right now. Next question, Paul?
Yeah, so let's jump to Beth. Beth's got a question about the time involvement. She asks, with everything else I have going on trying to build my business, I'm wondering if I'll be able to find time to learn this new skill. She says, how much time is involved in going through this training?
Okay, so what I'm hearing is you're concerned about having the time to add email alchemy to your marketing agenda or whatever your agenda happens to be. I get it, you're busy. Now that said, wouldn't you prefer to invest your time in something that gives you 10 times the ROI than all those other things put together? The secret to wealth is typically not much more than getting your priorities straight, right? Focusing your resources where they have the most impact. And that is unquestionably, if you are in business, it is email marketing, especially when you do it the email alchemy way. If you're thinking you're going to succeed without making a substantial investment in email marketing, whether it be time or money, you're just deluding yourself. And the template arsenal is the biggest time and money saver going. I mean, go grab yourself an application, and we'll take 5 minutes to look at your situation. And if you can't see your way to wiping some of the less important stuff off of your schedule, then clearly you're not right for the program. Because when you put email alchemy to work in your business, you'll be able to buy time with the money it makes you. You'll be able to hire some people to do that lower value stuff. Automate some things, because implementing email alchemy in your business is the absolute highest paying time you will ever spend, especially with all the extras that are on the table right now. There'll never be a better time to reprioritize and get a better plan working for you, and I'll even help you to do it ongoing for up to 6 months with the lifetime membership. So if you're sitting on the fence, remember, you're here because you want to be able to earn more money, and email is just about the best way to do it. You want to be able to get paid to build your list by monetizing those leads quickly and effectively. You want a shortcut. You want to be able to save time and start earning and making a bigger impact with what you do, and do it sooner rather than later. So go ahead and do what you want to do. Go ahead and apply while you got the chance.
All right, so Robert's got an interesting question. We've been hearing, people have been coming out of the woodwork for years saying that email is dead. So Robert is asking, do people even read the emails that we send them? Isn't email a dying media?
Great question. A lot of noise, too, in the background. Maybe you could mute yourself. Okay, that's better. All right. So we've been at this for what? 90 minutes. So hopefully by now you've seen that really is not true. Email is not dead. You've seen why email is still the killer marketing app. Complete 180 from email being dead. It's where people are enthusiastic about buying, not on Facebook, not on YouTube or Instagram, email. So Isn't that where you should be focusing your efforts? You've seen how a short 10 to 15 day email alchemy campaign will routinely pull in $3 per name and as much as $16 per name and more. And you've seen how that means you can generate a 6-figure income with this from a tiny little list of just 1,500 names, or a 7-figure income from just 15,000 names. Imagine the freedom that kind of money can bring you, or the impact that you can be having in your market, and the people that you can be helping. Of course, by now, you've seen the email marketing myths. You saw that, right? You've seen why it's not your fault you haven't yet experienced this kind of success. You've seen why copying what everybody else is doing with email is a surefire recipe for mediocrity, and how you can begin leading your market with email alchemy instead. By now, you've seen the enormous ROI that you get with email alchemy, and how you can create rapid growth without spending a fortune on all those Hollywood-style videos and fancy pants web page graphics and all the rest of the expensive hoopla. You've seen how people just like you are raking in cash like there's no tomorrow, as much as $400,000 in as little as 2 weeks, with nothing but good old-fashioned email, documented stats, and proof. You've seen them doing it with relatively small lists. And by now, you've seen how you have this once-in-a-lifetime chance to get involved with Email Alchemy Elite, the membership program, for 60% off the regular rate, thanks to Mr. J. Abraham, when you apply now. Even at the regular $12,500 price for lifetime memberships, is one of the world's biggest bargains. Because remember, you're getting full-blown, done-for-you templates. They're strategically organized into 12 distinct mix-and-match series. They cover the entire subscriber life cycle so that you can recycle them into dozens of different campaigns. It's a long copy, email alchemy, world-class persuasion with the full subject, opening, deepening, pitch, call to action formula. It's baked in, proven to convert. I'm not kidding when I say you would pay me $200,000 to custom write that many emails for you. Never mind all the amazing email alchemy training and the bonuses and the masterminding and the personalized support that's available to you right now. So would you like to get your email marketing taken care of at a 60% off discount, plus get this spectacular bonus package that you see and comfortable waiting and paying the regular price? Sure, you can go to my website anytime you want, and you can apply for Email Alchemy Elite, and you can pay the regular $7,500 to $12,500 ticket. But this webinar is the one and only place you can get it for just $29.97 with all of these wonderful benefits. Heck, you can even take the PayPal financing. Pay nothing for 6 months with no interest if you're in the United States and you have good credit. And if you're not in the United States and you have good credit, take our in-house financing, just 12 monthly payments of $297 for the annual membership. Pay for it with the income it brings you. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Strike now while the iron's hot, while all the facts are in front of you and it's fresh on your mind, and while the webinar bonus is on the table, assuming you're accepted into the program. Any more questions, Paul?
Yeah, I got a final question here. Jim wants to know, is there some kind of software that I can buy that will do this for me?
Well, there's a lot of amazing things happening in the world these days. But if you're looking for some kind of like push-button, magic pill software, at least at this stage in 2016, this probably isn't for you. I mean, no software program exists. No software program is going to give you highly engaging, unique, and distinctive persuasive emails like this. The technology simply does not exist, not yet anyway. This is actually me giving you pre-written world-class emails, strategically crafted to be interesting and entertaining and persuasive, with little blanks here and there that you have to fill in. They're carefully engineered to be adaptable for any product or service. No software is going to do that for you. You do have to think a little bit. And so I'm looking for serious people here, serious students, people who are willing to go through the material, who are coachable and willing to take help, and most importantly are ready to do something with the systems and the processes that have allowed me and many others to create some extremely lucrative marketing campaigns. That's what the application process is for. I don't want anybody coming on board here thinking that they're going to download some kind of magical software and money's going to start falling out of the sky, because that's just not how life works. Any more questions, Paul?
No, I think we can wrap up, Daniel.
Cool. All right. So we're out of time, guys. If you're still on this webinar, you know that you want this. You know that you need it. I presume you're going to want to get in at a 60% discount. You're going to want to be at or near the front of the line to get on a hot seat and to have me write a custom template for you. So you might as well get in on the webinar only bonus as well. This is the only time I'm going to be including the Quantum Income Leap. It's a $1,997 product. It's 500 pages of gold. You get University of the Road to go with it. Only available if you grab an application in the next couple of minutes. Also subject to approval of that application, of course. And this course is worth its weight in gold because it solves two problems that I see running rampant today in marketing. If you are a pure information marketer, your days are numbered. People no longer want just information. They can get all the information they want online for next to nothing. What they want is clever, value-added access to the expert behind the information, like I'm doing here with Email Alchemy Elite. And this course gives you a complete roadmap for building those high-touch, high-ticket back-ends into your info marketing business. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, if you happen to be a coach or a consultant or a freelancer of some kind or a service provider really of any kind, this gives you a complete system for positioning yourself through info marketing to effortlessly attract and pre-sell potential clients instead of chasing them around manually, so that your credibility and your authority is sky high. And they close so much more easily, so they come to you automatically then, and they're predisposed to doing business with you so that you can dramatically raise your fees and you can earn what you're worth. It's yours free with Email Alchemy Elite 2.0, lifetime and yearly membership, paid in full, shipped to your home or office on application approval. Going once, going twice, going thrice. Okay. So guys, I'm going to give you that special bonus that I told you about. So if you're still here, you get it. Let me see if I can get the screen back up on here for you. Do you see anything on the screen? I don't, Paul.
No, I got a black screen too. Looks like we lost it.
Looks like some calamity has happened in the office here. So do you know the link so our friends can get the?
Yep, I've got the link right here. I'm going to post it in the chat.
I'm going to see if I can get this screen back on because it's a nice little summary. Now that's weird.
All right, we've got the bonus posted in the chat form.
Okay, let me see if I can get this screen back on. Session terminated. All right, well, as long as we can get that, can we put the link to get the membership application as well in the chat box, Paul?
Yep, I'll throw that in there too.
So you'll be able to grab a bunch of tools from that bonus bundle, free of charge. Thank you for joining us on this webinar. I certainly enjoyed spending some time with you. And we'll leave this on for a few minutes in case you need to click on either of those links. Anything else before we skip off, Paul?
I think we're good. I've got the bonus bundle posted in there, and I've got the Elite membership order form link posted in the chat as well. So we're all set with both of those.
Okay, so guys, we'll leave this on for a few minutes. Make sure you get your application in before the session terminates, and we'll see if you're a good fit. We'll see if the synergy is good, and let's make that cash register sing together. Take care, everyone.